Oh yeah, Exodus 28 and 3. Okay, YouTube looks to be too wild. So real quick. Alright, give me a second here. Alright, so let me see. Let me go ahead and check Facebook real quick. Salakia. Alright, let's check Facebook real quick. Have you seen anything pop up on Facebook yet?
Oh, well, there's something that I don't. Okay. YouTube.
Yeah, I checked. Yeah, I checked YouTube. So yeah, Facebook's too wild. Yeah, Facebook's too wild.
Yeah, it had something to do with that Breonna Taylor thing. We're going to bring it out now because, you know,
okay.
Need more solidarity on it. You know.
Okay, you want to talk about that after class?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I just try not to forget about it.
Okay.
All right. Cause yeah, I definitely want to hear about it. Cause I'm sure it's something heavy.
Yeah. Well, also trying to forward the videos to you.
Huh?
It's like a 4-part little series thing on it.
Okay. Oh, you talking about Hulu?
Huh?
On Hulu, right?
No, it's on the YouTube.
Okay.
Forward to me, you know.
Okay.
Do Messenger.
Right.
You know, with Officer Wood and everything. Yeah, I'm gonna forward it to you. See what you think, what you make of it, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we live now. I want to say, just clap it up real quick. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Ashar Barakatham to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar. Alatham Bashim Ashar to all the sisters. I.S.U.P.K, Minneapolis, with the Brotherhood class today. Of course, you see what I'm saying, as you may know, you see the topic. The topic today is, understanding wisdom according to the Bible. And just to get into all the aspects of what wisdom is, meaning where does it come from, how do you get it, or pretty much how do you obtain wisdom. And we are just going to go through a few examples, you know what I mean, and just pretty much dialogue a little bit about this. And I feel like that, for those that are watching, hey, you're making a lot of noise over there. For those that's watching this, should definitely share this, and also, share this to the people that need to watch this class, because this is the class that helps you, navigate through the everyday problems and situations in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. These classes are very, very important. You see what I'm saying? I want you to understand Americans. All right. So to get back to the point. Now, in this sense, with wisdom, we're going to speak about, well, first things first. Do you know what wisdom is? How would you break down what wisdom is?
Wisdom, I would break it down as skillfulness,
Okay.
And it's like a man that's, good with building, is wise in his craft,
right.
Skillful at it.
That's right. Yep. And I will also agree with that, because wisdom is like, being skillful, having the ability, talented or experienced in something. See what I'm saying? A lot of people say like, that person is knowledgeable, which can mean the same thing. You know what I mean? Right. Being, having wisdom. Like some people have wisdom and knowledge to be a craftsman. Right. And a craftsman and a workman is pretty much the same thing, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to show an example of that in the scriptures. And just, you can have wisdom according to a lot of things. You know what I mean? But the main thing that's really important is the wisdom of the Lord in all actuality. You can have wisdom of anything that doesn't really apply to yourself, or it's not beneficial to you or your nation. You know what I'm saying? There are things that you can study up and learn about that really doesn't mean nothing. It's just something that you want to look at. Right. You see what I'm saying? So that's a example. And so get on to the topic. Let's go to Exodus 28 and 3.
Exodus chapter 28 verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted.
Say that one more time.
And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted.
Now this is Moses that's saying that thou should speak to all those that are wise-hearted. What does it mean to be wise-hearted?
Be wise-hearted means the wisdom that you have is like say for instance, you can have people that have wisdom and stuff, but they can still be fools. But then you have the wise-hearted, you know what I'm saying, which keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and have the skillfulness too.
Right. Those that are artistic.
Right.
Those that are artful. You see what I'm saying? Those words mean to someone that is, intelligent, artistic. You see what I'm saying? Articulate. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what it's speaking about. Someone that is wise-hearted. Someone that mentally is knows the right and the wrong to things. You know what I mean? That's a person that is wise-hearted. And and think of the wise-hearted too as examples of, musically. You see what I'm saying? You got musically, you got writing, teaching. See what I'm saying? So those things. You know what I mean? Someone who has a talent, a skill, once again, an ability. Also too, a word that will go hand in hand with wisdom is virtue. Because virtue is another word that means skillful. That's why we say our woman should be, or the children, it's like it. The daughters of Israel, you know what I'm saying, are virtuous. At least they're supposed to be. Right. See what I'm saying? Right. They should be nothing less than that. They should be a princess, not a queen. Right. You know what I mean? They should be virtuous, not wicked. And so, that's what it's speaking about. So keep going. Spirit filled within himself, which is the Holy Spirit, of course, and it gives him wisdom. The wisdom to make these priestly garments, these glorious garments. And that's what we're speaking about concerning, Aaron. Right. And also, too, I want to say something like there's a badass captain in the school, and his name is Captain Yagarwa. Right. Captain Yagarwa, I hear the story about him all the time about when he was in the world. You see what I'm saying? The talents that he showed today in the truth, he didn't make garments and things of that sort back in the world, but, he would keep himself, fly. You see what I'm saying? Right. You know what I mean? Being an older dude, being an older cat, he'd keep himself, nice and clean like most older black men do. Right. You know what I mean? It's funny because, we always got that one uncle that always fly, always fresh. Right. You see what I'm saying? And that's, that was him back in the world where, he really didn't do the things that he's doing today. Right. But, the story of him coming into the school is him, start making little things. And him making little things drew attention to the point where he started to make garments and priestly things for brothers in the school. Right. And then he ended up becoming part of that garment department. Right. And now he has a team underneath him who also is doing amazing work like he's doing. And that wisdom is being shared to the rest of the brothers who have that gift, who have that zeal to do so. Go ahead. Right.
And then that goes also too when it says, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom. He was, like he was flying the world, like you say. Right. But in the world, he wasn't really making garments. But the Most High seen that desire. Right. For him to do that. Right. And then that's when the Most High Spirit came up on him. Con. You know what I'm saying? Con. And then he became like super skillful with it.
Yes, Con, and that's right. You see what I'm saying? That's very right. And also, too, I want to say something too. When it comes to wisdom as well, what I want a lot of people to understand is, okay, wisdom is not something that's God-given in a sense, meaning that you don't wake up one day and say that you don't wake up one day and you're just wise. Right. You see what I'm saying? You're not born with wisdom. You're not birthed with it. Right. Wisdom is something that is taught. Right. But when you're being taught something, you have to receive it. Right. See what I'm saying? Now, being taught something and receiving something is two different things. But they do go hand in hand in order for that thing that you've been taught works. You see what I'm saying? It's about... what's the word? You receiving something is you like applying it to your life, right, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? And that's really what it is when it comes to wisdom. Right. You know what I mean? A lot of people say that. I remember hearing somebody just watching something online. Someone saying that I feel like I always had this wisdom. I just didn't know how to tap into it. I hear you, But you know, a scripture I would use for a person that thinks that when it says, you know, what's the scripture when it says, my people have a zeal, but not according to knowledge.
Right.
And that's what I kind of think of when people say things like that. It's like, you know, we somehow, some way, Black and Hispanic people are a spiritual type of people, so to speak.
Right.
And that's why we are everywhere. We are in Christianity, Islam, Judaism. We are, you know, Hotep, in the conscious community. All these things. You see what I'm saying? But something that we do lack, which brings forth wisdom, is the law, statutes, and commandments. Right. You know what I mean? That's only taught. That's not something that you're born with knowing. That's why, once again, we have prophets and priests who were there in place to teach us the law. Right. That's the whole purpose of Christ. You know what I mean? That's the main thing about Christ that you have to understand and know, that Christ was there to teach us the law, that laid down the foundation. See what I'm saying? Now, moving on, let's get, is that it on that, by the way?
Oh.
It says something about priest office.
Yeah, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. Right,
so in the nutshell, it's pretty much just talking about how, you know, someone has the Spirit of the Lord, the wisdom, according to, you know, making this working out. Because they have the experience, they have the ability and the skill for it. Right. Not everybody has that skill. You know, there are brothers who are very talented with teaching and speaking and things of that sort. And that's, once again, that's only being taught and receiving it. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Someone has to learn from somebody to learn from somebody to learn from somebody in order to know how to do that certain thing. Right. You know what I mean? You're just not, it doesn't fall out of the sky. Wisdom doesn't fall out of the sky and now it's in your hand. It's not something that you can just necessarily just read and study up on and boom, you got it. Right. You see what I'm saying? It's more than that.
Right.
All right. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Well, it's like when you go into Apocrypha,
right.
I think it's the Wisdom of Solomon. I think it's the 4th chapter.
Okay, yeah. That's a good chapter.
Breaking down how he got wisdom.
That's right.
You know.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Something easy.
Yes. You damn right. You see what I'm saying? And then there's something that comes with wisdom. You see what I'm saying? There's something that comes with wisdom. I think about Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter, the last verse. I want to say verse 18. I'm going to get that later as a precept. I wasn't planning on getting it, but I might as well. Let me see. Let's get to it. Also, to make sure that you share the class and make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. All right, I.S.U.P.K Minneapolis on all platforms. All right. Okay, and tag people that need to hear this, because there are many people in our life that are too big-headed, have a goddamn ego, and think that they are wise when it comes to their way of life. Right. If you are not in the I.S.U.P.K, you are not wise. Now the Lord can give you wisdom in certain situations. That all depends on Him. Right. You see what I'm saying? But understand, Salakia, hey Kalani. Yeah. Tell them that they got to keep it down, please. They're too loud. All right? The water. See what I'm saying? So, with that being said, moving on. Let's get Exodus 31:1. All right? The water. Hey, no. Okay? Go ahead.
Exodus.
So what is that talking about?
That means, whatever he put his hand to, the Most High has already done blessed it. And when it comes to making the tents, making, or whatever the case is, he also rose him up to be a teacher.
That's right. That's
of
right.
These things, to spread the knowledge throughout the nation, so there'll be other skillful men. And that's also bouncing off what you were saying, of what virtue is.
Right.
That's virtue. Bosleon is another dude of the tribe of Dan. And these are two that became the two chief dudes that the Most High put up to teach all of these things.
That's right.
And now you have a whole nation of skillful people that skillful know how to do it. That's the virtue you was talking about.
That's right, yeah. And so, like what the world calls, You see what I'm saying? Hey, slide 1 second. Hey. Hey. No noise. Alright? So, what the world calls creative, what the world calls, talented, things of that sort, that's wisdom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's skill, and that's, and like wisdom, like, I mean, so many ways that you can speak about wisdom because, like, it's so many, I don't want to say so many versions of it, but it's like, it's so many ways that you can break it down, and it's so valuable.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, when everything falls, what stays together is wisdom. Like a lot of people always say, well, look, I'm just going to believe whatever I believe. Look, I've been eating pork since I was a kid, so shit, I mean, we all going to die anyway. So I'm just going to continue to smoke my cigarettes, continue to roll that blunt, continue to, get passed around by the homies. I'm still going to continue to go to the strip club. I'm still going to continue to do whatever I want to do because this is life. We're all going to die someday. It's like, damn, what, like, where's your mind at?
Right.
Like, goddamn, go ahead.
Right. And that's also Edomite philosophy.
It is.
Because that's what the Edomite philosophy is always vain. They always trying to say that there is no God and all of that.
Right.
And all of those words or sayings that they got pretty much stems off of that.
Right. Right. And they always say that, I mean, I can be in Christianity, Islam, I could be, a Baptist, a Catholic. We all, at the end of the day, we all believe in the same God. No, the hell we don't. Like even saying that sounds very contradicting, which it is, because if we all believe in the same God, why do we have different versions of Him? Why are your way of life different from a Christian and a Muslim? You would think that if we believed in the same God, we will all do the same thing, live the same way, and think the same way. If that's the case, you follow. I guess we're following a schizophrenic ass God.
Right.
If you ask me, see what I'm saying? And people in their minds, they create God.
Right.
They don't see God unless they create Him or create her, so to speak. They talking about God as a goddamn black woman, which is freaking idiotic.
Right.
And you know what? A real woman would not want to be worshipped. It takes a strong woman to know the dangers that comes with that, to know the mentality, the spirit behind wanting to be all eyes on her, be worshipped. Right. Like these entertainers.
Right.
Like a woman can still be glorified and valued without looking like a sex symbol. Right. Without looking like, a piece of breasts and thighs. You know what I mean? Not being worshipped and not being lied to. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Right. And it's like, once again, this is why in the Israelite school, a universal practical knowledge, wisdom, at the end of the day, when everything falls, wisdom still stands.
Right.
See what I'm saying? And that's the wisdom of the Lord. And, I can't emphasize that too much. Okay? So let's, is that it on that? Actually, read it from the top one more time.
I think it's more.
Yeah, it is. I want to get all the way to verse 5.
Okay. Did you want me to start?
Yeah, from the top, please.
Okay. Exodus chapter 31, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, See, I have called by name Bezaleel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. And I have filled him with the Spirit of God in wisdom, and in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship. Right,
so this brother right here, you know what I'm saying, was filled with the Holy Spirit, you know what I mean, and wisdom and understanding and knowledge and all manner of workmanship. And what's so important about that, when it says that, because it's telling you that everything there is to know about this type of skill and talent he has, is, he has wisdom. Right. He knows any and everything about this thing. Right. And the Lord is the one that has given it to him. Right. In the sense of taught, meaning like he was taught it. And it came from the Lord. You know what I mean? So keep going.
to devise cunning works, to work in gold. If I will say something right quick, sir.
Go ahead.
It says, when it says to work in gold, you think about it, you know, the Jewish man equals his gold and bricks. There's no workmanship in molding that gold.
Yeah.
You know, but what we do, every time we always had gold, we always done stuff. We need to make door handles, all kind of stuff out of it.
That's very true.
You know?
That's very true. Yeah, you know, I remember seeing, I remember when I was watching something on YouTube with some brothers in the school, and it was you know, the rapper 2 Chainz, and seeing how he paid a whole lot of unnecessary amount of money to eat like I think it was a gold burger, a gold donut or something like that. I'm like, how the hell is that even edible? Like, how's that even possible to make, you know, put gold in food? And I'm just like, good night. But it just lets you know, like, damn, like you can incorporate gold into anything. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
You know what? It's just like the drink that they had. What they used to call it, gold slaughter.
Actually, I haven't tried it yet, but I know Qudash did. It was one time we had a major council, and I remember we all went over. Like, it was me, Qudash, and another brother. We had went over to Qunaya's house for the major council, and he had he had this liquor, and it was edible gold strips in it, or whatever like that. You know, it was funny at the end of the day because that, I guess, the gold strips didn't really do so well for certain brothers, and they had to end up, you know, in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it was hilarious to me though. But I didn't try it necessarily at that time. But I was just thinking to myself, just looking at the bottle, and I'm just like, is that even safe to drink? You know what I mean? Like, you know, alcohol is one thing, but gold strips and alcohol, I'm just like, good night. You know, I was even skeptical about drinking. It was dark chocolate liquor.
Golden Cats made them drink. That's probably kind of rooted in that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would think so, but yeah, that's not a coincidence. I don't think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that does make sense. Yep, I do remember that. That was that was in Exodus or Deuteronomy.
I think it was in Exodus.
It was Exodus.
Okay.
Okay.
It was in Exodus.
Was they in the wilderness at the time?
This is during the time of the golden calf, when Moses was up on the mountain.
Oh, then yeah, okay.
Aaron made the golden calf.
Yeah.
Moses came down and he was real mad about it. And he crushed it up.
Yeah.
And put it in the water.
Yeah.
And made the people drink.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn, I forgot about that. Yeah. And Exodus got a lot of legendary stories in there.
Right.
Trust me, man, it really do. Okay, so keep going on that.
Provides cunning works, to work in gold and in silver, and in brass,
right,
and in cutting of stones, to set them, and in carving of timbers, to work all manner of workmanship.
Right. So like, you know, he has a whole system on how to, you know, work his office, so to speak, which is just workmanship. You see what I'm saying? You know, workmanship today would be considered what in today's time? What's another word for it?
Like construction.
Construction.
You know, because just like we talk about the cutting of stone.
Exactly.
You know, we
the measurements and blueprints.
Yeah,
so that's what we're talking about. Would you include like carpentry in it, maybe?
Carpentry too.
Yeah, carpentry. Yeah. Ain't the word architecture?
Architecture.
Yeah, architecture. You know what I mean?
Masonry.
Masonry. A masonry make a lot of good money.
Yeah.
Make a lot of good money. I would say that welding things, you know, things of that sort.
Right.
Machinery.
Yeah.
All that is workmanship.
All of that. Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what it's talking about, man. Like, having that zeal, having the wisdom in order to do these things. And those things are very important.
Right.
You know, because, I mean, these roads are very important, for example, to travel places. If there wasn't no highways or roads, how would we get around? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We would have to come up with another form of transportation. So I'm saying all these things are, you know, very important. And there's wisdom in doing those things.
Right.
And learning those things. Right. All right? And so that's the whole point of what the Bible is speaking about. Now the precept that I want to go to furthermore is let me see. Go to Exodus 35 and 35. I want to further drive that point in.
Exodus 35 and 35?
Yeah, that's correct.
Exodus chapter 35 verse 35.
Uh-huh.
Them hath he filled with wisdom of heart.
Mm-hmm. Say that one more time.
Them hath he filled with wisdom of heart.
Mm-hmm.
To work all manner of work.
To do what?
Work all manner of work.
To work all manner of work. You see what I'm saying? So like, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay, no sweat. So like, read it one more time. So like, something popped up.
You want me to take it from the top?
Yeah, if you could. Oh, I appreciate it.
Them hath he filled with wisdom of heart. To work all manner of work.
Right.
Of the engraver. And of the cunning workman. And of the embroiderer. In blue. And in purple. In scarlet. And in fine linen. And of the weaver. Even of them that do any work, and of those that devise cunning work.
And so, what is that saying? What is the whole point of me even pulling that precept? Go ahead.
They're the ones that the Most High blessed, pretty much to teach all of these different skill sets. You know, also in the embroidery. The worker in blue, because it was a heavy task back then to do stuff like that.
It was.
Like nowadays. Nowadays we go to Walmart, buy a purple shirt. Right, you know what I'm saying? Or a blue shirt.
Right.
Back then you had to work to make that.
You really did.
Like that. That was a hell of a trade to have, and in scarlet. And fine linen, and the weaver, because you had the weaver beam, the weaver's beam was a 12-foot beam.
Yes. And
you had to weave the stuff together from the beam.
Yeah. And so really not to cut you off, it was hard work. You know what I'm saying? Like we also got to think about too how you remember how the story with Lazarus and the rich man. I love talking about the story a lot, but in Luke the 16th chapter, right? When it speaks about Lazarus and the rich man and hearing about that purple he had on, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
That what they consider gay clothing.
Right.
Gay clothing meaning like expensive and fashionable and things of that sort. Like back then around that time, like thousands of years ago, that was expensive. Right. It was high price. You know what I mean? Like you had to make certain type of money in order to have that on your body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To have that even in your wardrobe.
Right.
You know what I mean? So so that's a perfect example. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And just because of people already knew you was a man of stature. You was a man of importance.
Yes, that's right. And so and once again too, also not to remove the whole point. It spoke about wisdom in there, right?
Right.
What's the part when it says wisdom? Let's read that part again.
Okay. Them hath he filled with wisdom of heart. To work all manner of work.
That's right.
Of the engraver, and of the cunning workman, and of the embroiderer, in blue, and in purple, in scarlet, and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of them that do any work, and of those that devise cunning work.
Damn right. You see what I'm saying? Like this wisdom was being taught. And better yet, it was coming from the Lord. They was given this wisdom in order to, do this certain type of skill, right. Certain type of, order. You see what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and let me see here. Let's see, where do I want to go first? Next, let's get Deuteronomy 4 and 5. And we are going to dialogue a little bit. Now, what's the next installment of the next scriptures that I'm going to get into? This context of wisdom is speaking more about the mindset of it, the thinking of it, the mindset, the processing of the thoughts when it comes to wisdom. All right, and of course, I'll speak more about it in a second. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom.
Right, like, so for example, you see what I'm saying? What you got to understand is that this is speaking about the thinking, the right from wrong, the morality. If there wasn't, you see what I'm saying? If there wasn't a Bible, how would we know what is wise and what is unwise?
Right.
See what I'm saying? It would be left up to us to think for ourselves to,
right.
To the unwise, which can be very dangerous.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Going off of leaning on to your own understanding will be the death of you.
Right.
I mean, it will put you in some dangerous situations. You know what I mean? And that's something that you want to stay away from. Don't lean on to your own understanding. You know what also kills me too? Why lean on to your own? One second. So, you know what I mean? So I forgot what I said. So like, I'm saying what again?
What are you talking
about?
Oh,
yeah. So it's like, it's one thing that kills me about people who, likes to lean on their own understanding. Like, why should you lean on your own understanding when you have the answers right in front of you? Right. And of course, if you don't know the answer to something, it's best to always ask. Right. See what I'm saying? Instead of making up shit in your head, because what happens is you can cause yourself, some harm or the people around you.
Right.
And that brings us to the topic of, or just a conversation of leadership. You want to make sure that you follow the people that are above you. So I'm saying following them is what's going to lead you in the right direction. I'm speaking only about the people in the I.S.U.P.K, the brothers and sisters, and I'm speaking about this place right here, this sanctuary. See what I'm saying? Whoever you are, we all gotta listen to somebody. Right. See what I'm saying? Because wisdom lives here in this house. This is the home of the truth, and wisdom lives here. And that's why the I.S.U.P.K is so successful. And I always gotta boast about this place. Because, goddamn, I'm gonna give credit when credit is due. Right. See what I'm saying? The Lord is really with this place. And it shows. We are the original, we are the foundation. See what I'm saying? That's why we say the home of the truth. Right. The Lord, we are really protected in this place. And we are saving Black and Hispanic lives every single day since 1969. While in the meanwhile, everybody else has failed. The Black Panther movement has failed. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Why did they fail? Because they didn't have the wisdom of the Lord. They thought with their flesh and not what the Lord wanted.
Right.
Because if they did, they never would have been drug addicts, which they were. In which that is a sin, to be a drug addict. See what I'm saying? To be a cokehead. See what I'm saying? To be, messing around with the white woman, which they were as well. How the hell can you say that you are a black group of some sort and you're messing with the enemy?
Right.
You might as well just say all lives matter. All black and white Panther lives matter, goddammit. Because that's what you're saying. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with Martin Luther King, like such a hypocrite, man. And people still defend this man.
Right.
And they still want to die and lay their life down. Right. Like you're trying to lay your life down for a man you don't even know.
Right.
How people know Martin Luther King is from the media.
Right.
And the media tells you that he was a great man to a certain extent. Right. But if you look a lot closer, there's someone out there that will tell you the truth about them. See what I'm saying? Someone that will tell you the truth about this man and how he was a hypocrite.
Right.
And the tape just came out with was it Ronald Reagan? No, it was Kennedy. Kennedy's wife See what I'm saying? Spoke about how, you know, Martin Luther King was messing up certain things. When he was doing marches, he was not at the marches. He was at some, but it was one march that he was not at, and he was out there having orgies with white women. Good Lord. But still, that's a sidebar. I can go on about these leaders all day, every day. The whole point that I'm trying to get to is that Moses was a leader. And Moses did not become a leader because he thought of himself to have any wisdom, to be smart, knowledgeable, or skillful in anything. He was called by the Lord. And the Lord taught him and dealt with him to give him the wisdom that he had. And of course, you always give credit to the Most High because that's where it came from. And once again, we think about brothers like Paul. Paul wasn't born with wisdom.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Could have not served the Lord. But he fought. He strived to, you know, he had that zeal and that drive to want to be who he became, which was a man of the Lord. Right. Which was someone that was without sin, who wanted, he wanted what the Lord wanted.
Right.
And he wanted to serve him.
Right.
And that's all that mattered. And that's what's very important too when it comes to wisdom. You know what I mean? Because we have to understand where does it come from and how to use it, how to apply it in our everyday lives. All right? And so also too, just to further get to the point, read that one more time. Deuteronomy 4 and 5.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 5. Mm-hmm. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments. Even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye shall do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Right. So once again, without the wisdom of the Lord, see what I'm saying? Without the wisdom of the Lord, period, no one would know that sex is marriage. There are people in 2020, which is actually a big problem. They don't know that Christ, who the world calls Christ or Jesus, is a black man. Right. Somehow, some way, there's still this image of a white man that is the representation, the personification of what Christ looks like. Right. Knowing that that is a lie. And you have to fight against that every single day. Like, you can't just accept what is all in front of you. You have to question and investigate everything. Otherwise, someone that tells you that this apple is really an orange, you're going to believe it's a goddamn orange. Right. You know what I'm saying? When it's really an apple. Like, we have to really lean on to this Bible instead of leaning on to what our oppressor or what we think or feel. Because at the end of the day, once again, when everything falls, the Most High's wisdom is what stands. Go ahead. So here's the funny thing about it too, because a lot of people that didn't believe that he's black, once they found out he's black, then they try to say he never existed.
There you go, and that's crazy. Now you went all these 30 years, 40 years of your life believing in Jesus, but now that you know that he's black, it's like he's not real. Well, goddamn, you know what I'm saying? There are traces of him in this earth. And what I mean by traces, meaning that his records is in the Bible. See what I'm saying? Right. Of the people that we see today that are black, Hispanic, Native American, they are proof that Christ is alive. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like we look just like Christ. Right. You know what I'm saying? We share the same bloodline, the lineage. See what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And he's even in secular writings.
There you go.
He's even there in the Roman history.
In Roman history. You damn right. See what I'm saying? He is mentioned all over the place. Just like the Lord, just like the Hebrews. You know, all these, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Like we have to be smarter than that. We have to understand that without this Bible, the world they call knowledge is really ignorance or wisdom. See what I'm saying? Man, what's that scripture in Isaiah when it talks about, I forget the breakdown of the scripture, where to find it out, but it's talking about something as far as that. Now, the wisdom of the world is you can have sex with whoever you want to. Right. You see what I'm saying? Which you are married to whoever you have sex with, first of all. Right. See what I'm saying? You know, the wisdom of the world is, you know, you are not a drug addict if you are, you know, doing drugs. Like they try to normalize, like drugs is normalized, homosexuality is normalized. Being a whore, you know, you working at a strip club is you providing for your family. Versus it being looked at as something disgustful and something that's tarnishing a woman's femininity.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And a woman's character.
Right.
Go ahead.
And they always feel safe when doing it because they can just go back to their fallback. Say baby daddy.
Yes.
You know, like, you know, so he locked up. He couldn't provide, so I went out.
Because, you know, it's this whole term about the female pretty much sleeps around, she's for the streets. Men that she's not married to, somehow she's not for the streets. She's providing for her family. Right. She's a hustler. She's a true definition of a woman, which is very idiotic and very disgusting. Right. And once again, it is normalized. And a lot of people say, hey, I don't judge a book by its cover. Well, shit, you should. Then what the hell is a whore?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What the hell are we even talking about? Go ahead.
That's the contents inside the cover.
Come on. Come on, man.
The contents inside the cover.
Like, it doesn't even make any goddamn sense. It's like, what the hell are we even saying? Like, what is really happening to the minds of Black and Hispanic people? It's like, that's how you know that we have to fight harder to show our people what is what and what is not. Right. Because whatever the world is telling you it is not. Think the opposite. Right. See what I'm saying? And how you know that their wickedness and deceit is working is because how we live our life, how we think, how we, you know, just how we live our life in general. Right. And wisdom can help out with the thinking process and the right from wrong and decision making in your life. Every day in your life, you make a decision. You make a decision if I want to go out the house, go to the store, if I want to watch TV, if I want to drive. Like you know, if I want to, you know, go to the bathroom or eat, or, you know, you like every day you make a decision about any and everything, whether it's small or great. Right. But you should really start thinking about the things that matter, which is the decisions that profit and do not profit your life. Right. Because based on how you live your life, from the rights and wrong, it will determine life or death for you. All right? So read that one more time and we're going to move on. And I'm going to sum up why I just elaborated that much in order to understand the scripture.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
Moses said, I taught you statutes and judgment. That's very important. Keep going.
Even as the Lord my God commanded me.
Even as the Lord my God commanded me. To let you further know that this thing you have to be taught. Matter of fact, Hebrews 5 and 12 tells you that you have to be taught again. Right. If I'm not mistaken. Am I right or am I wrong?
Right. It's another one.
Go ahead.
Apostle Paul said, when it talks about him that is growing up is up under tutors.
Yes.
Until the time appointed. Yes. It's talking about even like kings and stuff like that.
Yes.
Have to be, you know, they have to be taught
until
the time appointed.
Right. And also too, I'm glad that you said that, because wisdom teaches you, it teaches you discipline. Wisdom teaches you experience. It teaches you life in general. You know what I mean? Right. That's what wisdom does for a man and a woman. See what I'm saying? Who doesn't have wisdom. And there's so much things that come with it that is so beautiful. Like this topic makes me very happy because, you know, like, it just makes me think about the mistakes that I made and knowing like what could have happened if I never made those mistakes. Right. And then also looking at the wisdom in the Bible to see the examples of what to do and what not to do. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. And just the beauty of it. And sometimes, you know, like a lot of us, we hate making mistakes. But sometimes you even make mistakes without you even trying to make them with you not trying to be intentional about making a mistake. Like you doing it on purpose. It was something that was just like, oh damn, you know what? It was an honest mistake that we always say, right? Right. And even those honest mistake or purpose mistakes we learn something from it. How do you know if you do learn from it, you don't do it again? Or at least you fight to not make that same mistake again. You see what I'm saying? Now, how you know that you're not learning from that mistake, how you know that you're not learning from that mistake is if you just don't give a damn. You keep doing it. And that goes hand in hand, once again, with being taught and receiving it. Right. Those two go hand in hand together. Right. Because your mistakes should be your teacher, so to speak. Right. Because the experience that you learn is that it was horrible. It was bad. You know what I'm saying? You got locked up. See what I'm saying? You're paralyzed. You went blind. You know what I mean? You lost a family member behind your actions. Your child is in danger, and it's so many variables, so many examples that you can use. But that should let you know that situation is to teach you something, and you should receive it and think about it and know what to do to avoid that situation. Right. That's wisdom. Go ahead.
Right. This is a perfect example of receiving it and not receiving it is Jacob and Esau.
Hey, I'll give you a hand. Damn right.
They were both taught.
Say it again. They was both what?
They were both taught.
You damn right.
Statutes and commandments through Isaac.
That's right.
Abraham and all of that, but one received and one had no interest in it at all. And it led up to him losing the blessing that he was supposed to have. Esau had wisdom. He had wisdom in the sword and how to take things carnally.
He was a cunning hunter. Right. When it comes to weapons and hunting, slither away out of any situation. And what's so crazy to me, because even the people in the world can see that what's evident is that this situation, they broke many laws. But somehow, they do not get charged, they don't get, judgment because of this. Right. They have wisdom, they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? The Lord gave them that skill, gave them that ability.
Right.
But our wisdom as Black and Hispanics that the Lord given us is far more better.
Right.
Go ahead.
So nobody can really argue who the man of sin is when we talk about Thessalonians.
You're talking about the son of perdition.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Also the man of sin. Mm-hmm. Talk about until the man of sin be revealed. Mm-hmm. The son of perdition. He profits off of sin because he monopolizes every evil enterprise there is on the face of the planet. He sits at the top of it.
That's right, because all the crime and violence he endorses.
Right, porn. He's at the top of porn.
Yep.
He's at the top of drugs.
Yep.
He's at the top of of every drug you can think of.
Yep.
Of everything that's evil that breaks in cash.
Yep.
He's at the very top of all of them.
And you damn right, and that's what it is. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, with all the violence and disgustingness of our oppressor, you are right. He is at the top, and also too, all this information that we're speaking about, you can find online.
Right.
And I remember. I think it was Captain Tazaria. He was speaking about it, and it was Captain Shapar Napash. He was talking about too how like with all the child pornography, sex trafficking, and missing girls and all that stuff, like our oppressor is at the top of the list, who's responsible for all those things and how they make money off of it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So once again, that's absolutely disgusting and horrible, man.
And everybody else that join in with that, they're only like Confederates with him. They're in the lower, they're lower on the pyramid when it comes to that. Like
that's right.
That's at the very top.
That's right.
He the cornerstone of sin.
Yeah, you're right. That's absolutely right. So is that it on that? Did we hit verse 6? Yeah, go ahead.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Now, this is how you know. This is how you know what is wisdom. It just told you first of all, right? Wisdom, of course, is being taught the wisdom. All right, it's like a parent. See what I'm saying? Teaching their kids something, and that kid, based on the example that they're being shown, should know what is right and what is wrong.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Like the things that you're teaching them, should conceive something in their mind to let them know, you know what, don't touch that stove. You see what I'm saying? Because they know if you touch that stove when it's hot, you're gonna get burned. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They know, don't take candy from strangers. Better yet, don't take any goddamn thing from a stranger.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta think in your mind, who man's is this? You know what I mean? Who woman is this? I don't know you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You gotta think of those things.
Right.
And it's good, once again, like it's good to teach our children early.
Right.
So they don't have to find out later the hard way when they're kidnapped, when they're murdered and killed, when they're in perilous times. Okay? And so the wisdom that it's speaking about right here is the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what it just said in verse 6, did it not?
Right.
Let's read it one more time, if you could, Warrior.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom.
If you keep them and do them, this here is your wisdom. So if you're being taught them, keep always say scriptures, you're going to lose it. It's the same thing with studying. Trials and tribulations in our everyday life, and we don't learn from them, you're going to end up in the same situation and not know what the hell to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you got to, once again, you got to think about that every single day.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, it was something that General Muhammad had said. He said something about, the fact that I got to keep repeating myself over and over again and tell you not to do this, not to do that, and you say Khan, and you still do it. So that means that I got to keep saying it until you stop doing it.
Right.
And he was saying sometimes, he gets to the point where he just hates hearing his voice in class. He's like, didn't I just go over this yesterday? You know what I mean? And it makes sense. I understand where he's coming from.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, some are hard hearing.
Right.
And some, can't necessarily see.
Right.
What they need to be shown and, what needs to be heard or understood, so to speak, which is wisdom.
Right.
Go ahead.
That's the same thing Apostle Paul was going through. That's why you mentioned, remember that the verse you just mentioned when it talked about you need one to teach you again?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he was going through that same type of situation, with certain people of one of the churches.
Mm-hmm. And that's right, and that's a perfect example. You know what I'm saying? So that was it on verse 6, right?
Can I bring something right quick? When it
Go
says,
ahead. Go ahead. Me, you can tag team this, man. Go ahead.
When it says, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. When you flash back to King Solomon, there was no war during his time.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were pretty much at the height, other than the kingdom of Christ, we was at the height of the blessing at that time, through the time of King Solomon, and everybody was too afraid to go to war with him.
Right, that's right.
Because of the wisdom and everything that he had, and and all of that everybody was afraid. They were terrified. They would do things like, this was a thing that went on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
It would be kings.
Mm-hmm.
Kings would play certain games with each other, just like chess.
Yeah.
Just to see what moves somebody would make in a specific time and everything. It was a certain situation or whatever. And they would send they would even do things like send trap questions.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't answer the question in a certain amount of time or whatever, then you would have to pay. You would be fined by the nation of the people that sent the question. They would play games like that all over the earth. That's for chess, risk, all of that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They would play those type of games all over the earth. They was doing it all the way back in ancient times too. So something that I read before, King Solomon was so cold that kings would send him their questions.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Damn, man. Yeah, it's crazy. Like every time I go over scriptures, you just remind me, like about certain things that I just haven't heard of in years. So yeah, man. But I mean, so much more to know about the Bible. But I definitely remember hearing about that coming up in the school. See what I'm saying? Shit, you make me want to go back. Just go back and go back to those stories, man, because those stories are legendary once again.
They are.
You know what I'm saying? And it really means something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you said that, like that further proves the point that, even that, you get some wisdom from it.
Right.
It's funny how even that same system we use today in the UPK. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was powerful. That was good. Did we finish verse 6?
Okay, we haven't finished it, but we still got about half of it to go.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Right. So another thing too, with the law, statutes, commandments, it being wisdom to Black and Hispanic people. We are the ones that should have. We are the ones that was given the torch. When it speaks about Psalms 147:19 through 20, we should understand that we are the ones that's responsible to show the whole entire earth, meaning every nation on the earth, how to live, how to live their life. Right. And it's so funny because the way that we live in the UPK is so foreign to the people outside of here. Now, one thing I can say is that they might not agree with how you live your life or what you're saying, but one thing is I can say that they respect it. They can't necessarily fault it and say that, you know what, it's a sin to, okay, you know how we say that drug addiction and being a drug dealer and being, for homosexual, a child molester, a thief, like all these things are a sin, and we put shame on it. Like how can I say it? Like they can't like disregard or like they can't like shame us for being righteous, for not stealing, for not being whores and not being all disgusting how they are. Right. You know what I mean? They may not agree with it, they may not understand it, but they be like, you know what, I respect that. And I hear people say all the time, I respect that. I never met nobody that says otherwise. Like, you know what, I don't respect that you're not smoking weed. Right. I don't respect that you're not lying to me. Like, who the hell says shit like that? Right. I don't respect that, whatever. You know what I mean? Right. Go ahead.
You know what a perfect example of that is? Pontius Pilate.
Yes.
When Christ was at the judgment hall.
Yes.
Even though Pilate was a wicked, heathen, Edomite Roman, he couldn't help but to say, I find no fault in this man.
Yeah. I can't stunt. You know what I mean? Like this man right here, he's an upright, he's perfect man. Right. And that's pretty much like that's how we put it in today's terms. Like you know what? I can't even lie. Right. This man is not. He's not. What's the word? He's not like so to speak. Like he shouldn't be in his position, so to speak. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
And that's why he said, "I washed my hands of this," because he knew he was a great murderer, innocent man.
Hell yeah.
And even though he didn't agree with the way Christ rose
right.
I.S.U.P.K.
Once again,
he didn't agree with that. Of course,
once again, yes.
He didn't like that.
Yeah.
It was the daytime, right now, boots and
right.
Sunglasses and everything, rolling just like like us.
Yeah.
Which is abomination to the world.
Yeah.
But he was judging, based on character and the things that he does and everything and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, man, I can't. He was actually judging morally. Which I got to give him some credit because of that. He was.
And that's right. And that's really on point. And I'm glad you said that. You know what I mean? Because that's a perfect representation of that. You see what I'm saying? That's a perfect example to further drive that point of what this scripture is speaking about. You know what I mean? Also too, it's like another thing when it comes to wisdom as well, how everyone knows that you're wise, that you have to talk. See what I'm saying? And what's so great about that scripture when it talks about the other nations, it's like the other nations knew in the Bible. They knew at times when we were serving the Lord and when we was not serving the Lord. They was pretty much, they was plotting against Israel, saying like, look, once they stop serving their God, that's when we enslaved them. Right. But right now, let's stand down right now because they're serving their God. But the moment they stop and we see them backsliding, let's enslave them. Right. And the same thing when we look into the book of First Maccabees. First Maccabees, I get angry. What the hell is you doing? Right. And then that caused us to all be in slavery. Right.
Right.
And there's like, oh, you want this candy? All right, no sweat. Let's wrap them up. Let's put them in the van, and we got this kid. Go ahead.
Another thing too is the fact that they hated the Egyptians.
Yes.
Better.
I think about Egypt all the time. It's like these niggas really complained to Moses and said, "Look, man, we want to go back to Egypt. They was treating us better. Niggas, you crazy?
Right.
Don't you know that Moses had a warrant on him, just like Christ had a warrant?
Right.
And Moses killed somebody because another brother was being oppressed by a Egyptian.
Right.
In which that kills all the Africans and blacks are the same. That kills so much things, and it shows the brotherhood that he had. You see, his brothers and his sisters, man.
Right.
And the fact that they open up their mouth and fix word, like formulated words to say, forget about the Lord, let's serve Pharaoh. It's like, I see why the Lord killed them, and it was so it was righteous, man. A lot of people ask, like, why did the Lord kill so many Israelites in the wilderness? Why do you think? It was the Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? It was them being anti. How do I say it?
Anti-Most High is what they really were.
Anti-Most High, like, you know, them having, you know, the spirit of you know, being oppressing and loving no oppression.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy about a slave. Like, I love what Harriet Tubman said when she said that you know, I could have freed I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more slaves if they knew that they were slaves. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, it's so beautiful when she said that, because it's like, these motherfuckers didn't know that they was oppressed.
Right.
They looking around like, okay, this is life. This is how it's going to be when my children are born. This is how it's going to be when they die, or when I die. It's going to be the same thing for generation to generation. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Right.
But of course, if we had the wisdom that Moses and Abraham, who the Lord dealt with, that was the Lord's friend. He considered him to be a friend.
Right.
And that's powerful.
Yeah.
For the Lord to consider a man his friend.
Right.
Man, that Christ, it's like the Lord is with us. And this, I'm running out of time. Let me skip that. Let's go to 1 Kings 4:29. All right. 1 Kings 4:29. But y'all get the point. And wisdom is not what you think or what you feel. It is the wisdom that you get from the Lord comes from the obedience. It comes from, you know, the discipline. You see what I'm saying? And serving the Lord. That's how you receive and get wisdom. Once again, it's not God-given, and it's not something that falls out of the sky. Keep going. Go ahead.
1 Kings chapter 4, verse 29. And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding.
One more time, a little louder, because the kids is loud in the back.
And God gave Solomon wisdom and understanding. Exceeding much.
Diligence in order to be, you know, wise. And understand that Solomon was the wisest man on the face of the earth. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
Even as the sand that is on the seashore.
Say it one more time.
Even as the sand that is on the seashore.
Meaning what?
Man, he gave him vast knowledge of everything. We talk about when he talked about plants and roots, and he knew things that, you know, I mean, things was seemingly, you know, I ain't gonna say impossible, because he's the king. He can travel much. He can do, you know, but he knew the virtues of all of these different things.
Right.
Roots, all kind of stuff.
Right.
He was like, you know, like an angel. I mean, you know.
Yeah, like King Solomon had the wisdom that nobody else had. Meaning he could answer any and every question that there was, and, you know, he knew how to decipher any situation and dispute. And I'll give you an example. A lot of people they would leave their homeland, they would leave their place of you know, rest, I would say, or a place of home, and they would come to Solomon for counsel.
Right.
Another example is when two women came to King Solomon, and they spoke about this baby. You see what I'm saying? And King Solomon pretty much said, "Look, man, give me the baby, give me the child. You see this child right here? Look, if y'all want this child so bad, let's cut the baby in half. You get one portion of baby, and I'll give you the other portion." And then what happened? What happened with that story?
Yeah, what happened with that story was the woman whose baby it was, her bowels yearned for the baby. She cried out, "No, just go ahead, let her have it, so that the baby will live."
And then the other woman just pretty much didn't give it to her.
She didn't care.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay, divide.
Right. And what that did was it solved the problem.
Right.
It showed who was lying and who was not. See what I'm saying? Who baby was not.
Right.
And it's like, who the hell would think of something like that?
You
see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It also goes to show you the in-depth study that King Solomon did inside the law.
Yes.
Because it's a law of where it's a law where you divide the ox. And the ox is also metaphorically spoken of as a male child too.
Yes, that's right. Hey, now I'll give you a hand on that. Hey, that's good.
He used that law.
Point, like I remember reading around, like I would never think of something like that, but it makes sense. You see, I showed this due diligence, and like he showed the zeal, and he was so obedient to the Lord, and the Lord gave him that.
Right.
See what I'm saying? And once again, like you said, with the kings being taught and everything, he had to be taught those things.
Yes.
Yes.
Same. You know, I ain't gonna say this is it because I ain't seen it in the Bible.
Right.
But there's a story where Queen of came when she came to King Solomon. She came to him with all kind of questions. And she would have these different type of scenarios on a tree, and asked him which side was the root of the tree. He told him, and he said, "That's the root, right there."
You know, it also reminds you of Christ, because it was like there's nothing like there's no question that Christ can answer it either. And wisdom and situations and things of that sort. And it was so amazing and just so beautiful. I was like, good Lord, like goddamn. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, and that's further point. What King Solomon did was a decision-making, scenario with the woman and the baby, two women and the baby. All right. So, now, did you hit verse 30 yet?
Verse 30. What was it?
4 and 30.
4 and 30. Okay.
It was really 4 and 29, but I moved to verse 30.
And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of I.S.U.P.K.
You see what I'm saying? That was very self-explanatory. Right. His wisdom it had a massive impact on the world. Right. And that goes back to them having that, people coming to him for counsel all over the world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When we said all the children of the East Country, we still looking at the Asians and everything as being wise and having wise stuff right to this day.
Yeah,
the wisdom of the Asians and Middle East and all of that stuff. We still looking at it like that to this day. Yeah,
which is sad, because I wouldn't rely on them anyway, because they think that bats are edible.
Right.
And that's the reason why we got the damn corona. Wants to eat a flying object like that. Like, good Lord, I can't do it. I just can't.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting. You know what I mean? But edible, like, good Lord, that's disgusting. And all the weird, unusual, strange things that they do in their culture.
And all the wisdom of Egypt, for he was wiser than all men, than Ethan the Israelite of Mahol, and his fame was in all nations round about.
Right. Now, that's giving like a little backstory about the wisdom that Solomon had and where it came from, which was the Lord. You see what I'm saying? And speaking about him a little bit. Now, let's see. Hold on. Let's get into Proverbs 1:1 real quick.
Proverbs 20.
Damn, I should make a part 2.
Oh, yeah, it'll be there. Proverbs 21 and...
I'm going to start right here with Proverbs 1 through 4. Yeah, Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1.
Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel.
That's right.
To know wisdom and instruction and equity.
That's right. And that's all.
To give to.
Still like it. I think that's subtlety.
Okay. Yeah. So subtlety to the simple.
And that was it. Oh, go ahead.
To the young man, knowledge.
What King Solomon is doing is he is sharing the wisdom with you in the book of Proverbs, as you see. You know what I mean? I remember studying this already a few times. You know what I mean? It's always a good book to go back to, and he's giving you the whole rundown about wisdom, and wisdom and things that are not wisdom. Meaning, that's where I was looking for, foolishness. So he's giving you the breakdown of it, and he's sharing that with you. He's giving it to you. He's teaching you what to do and what not to do, and showing you what happens in these cases and what to expect. Like he's giving you game. Is what I always say, because that's what it is with the book of Proverbs. He's giving you everything that you need to know. It's a blueprint. See what I'm saying? With wisdom. And I believe in chapter 1, verse 1 through 4, it's telling you what all comes with wisdom, which is, to know wisdom instruction means to perceive the words of understanding, meaning you understand wisdom, you understand, instruction. And also, too, you can understand things that most people won't be able to get or comprehend. You, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, which, we are big on, which is Tazadak in Hebrew, and judgment. You show, equity, which is the fairness. You see what I'm saying? Of things. And a good leader who has wisdom has all these things, all these qualities added unto him. And which is a blessing, once again, from the Lord, your own, and think that you got it. You got all the answers. That's why our black leaders are, the reason in our own communities today.
Right.
They tell you to keep loving your oppressor. Keep loving the one that hurts you.
Right.
Keep buying those drugs. Like they don't say keep. Think that it's the people, Native Indian or black community, when they come. Right. Because I thought that to know God and to know how to handle every situation.
Right.
And that baffles my mind. Like, people want to talk about all the, but everybody yet glorifies them.
Right.
And then they raise somebody up to be the ones to have all the answers. You see what I'm saying? For black and Hispanic people. And it's clear. Because they say the dumbest shit, so like they say the dumbest BS. Their answers are invalid. And when they speak, it's dangerous.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Have the wisdom, that have the skill, the ability, who has been trained, who are disciplined. These qualities and the virtue, skill, and the zeal that we have the answers. Right. To lead the people not astray, you have to have certain things as a leader, as a man of the Lord, in order to be a leader. And that's only taught in the I.S.U.P.K. And when you're taught it, you better hold on to it. Like your life depends on it, which it does. Share and, share that wisdom, so to speak, all right? So like I elaborate too long, I want to say, clap it up, man. That's the class. I want to say, pay your tithes. You see what I'm saying? Pay your tithes, I.S.U.K. Minneapolis. Also, too, if you want to send in any donations to I.S.U.K. Minneapolis, we have a cash app, which is $UPK Minnesota. You want to make sure that it is capitalized, all letters, UPK Minnesota. Also, too, we got the feast like 10 days away, which is, I believe, next Thursday. Right. Okay, so you want to get ready for that. Also, too, pay your tithes, man. All right, so with that being said, we are going to get into the announcements. Let's get to a clap one more time. Let me pass it to you. Give me a second. Go ahead.
We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out at 1 West on 25th Street, Harlem, New York. Group of new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an income, after this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry.
That's right.
Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew. Mayashara. 10% of every penny that we would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Prayer, of course, and we are going to face the Imam.
Kadash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malapaka. Taba'ah. Barzaka. Hayah. I.S.H.A. Barataza. Kawah. Hayah. Bashemaya. Baslakna. Kabawakina. Wala'ah. Tabayana. Bonasai 1. Kabal. Awashayna. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Malakwa. Batapar. Lawalayum. Aman.
The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Amen.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Mayan. Yabah. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashan. Shawmar. Yashala. Yahweh. Yamyanka. Yawamam. Ashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Bayal. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makar. Rai. Yashamar. Why? Awalam.
Psalms 121. Oh, Salaki. I was distracted.
Barak Lanawa. Where Shalom. Wahabayah. Sapari. Barak. Papa. Magun. Hagun. Say the name of the loved ones once. Everyone repeats the name once.
Now, once again, this is the prayer, Bless Israel. If there's someone that you want to pray for, since the prayer is up to, what you want to do is you want to type in the room. Go ahead.
Rapaya
Allah.
House of Barak. The House of Barak. Minneapolis. Kentucky. Indiana. Ohio.
House
Dayan. Brooklyn. Cornwall. House of Bakai.
Kawana. The House of Kanaga Bar. Tawala. Kabad Tabak. Kabad the Bar. Shagaria. Let me check YouTube. Wadama. I read that there. English. Alright, bless Israel in the English. Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shah. Bless us. In Israel. In the school. Bless. Heal. Shield. Protect. Loved ones. In the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it. Alright, I think this one I can do it. Yeah, English. Yeah, I got it. I.S.U.P.K power structure. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and
And
earth.
all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Name of Yahweh Shai.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
To evils and curses.
The evil and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and
To
destruction.
the heathen.
The heathen.
That speak against us.
Speak against us.
Like prophets.
The prophets.
The teachers.
Teachers.
The princes.
Princes.
The priests.
Priests.
The Israelite brothers.
Israelite brothers.
In the school.
And the school.
To evils and curses.
The evil and
And
curses.
punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
The heathen.
And shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel.
Shake loose the treasure of the rich of
That
Israel.
refuse to give to the
That
school.
refuse to give it to school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter thy
Into
sanctuary.
thy sanctuary.
To evils and curses.
The evil and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and
To
destruction.
Edomites.
The Edomites.
And the nations.
The nation.
And the drug dealers.
Drug
The
dealers.
court system.
Court system.
The prison system.
Prison system.
Planned
Planned
Parenthood.
Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies. Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinhead.
Poskomataza.
Pascomatized.
The gay movement.
Gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
They stop. Spies.
Spies.
Works of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And airwaves.
And airways.
Cable access channel.
Cable access channel.
The radio channel.
Radio channel.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
that seek to stop
that
us.
seek to stop
And
us
bring swift destruction
and bring swift
to
destruction
all the heathen
to all the
that
heathen.
stand in the way.
Stand in the way.
Try to stop us.
Try to stop
And
us.
broadcast your word.
Broadcast your
Throughout
word.
the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet
Let
earth.
loose all the
Let
plagues.
loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and
Cause
fro.
them to go to and
Through the
fro.
earth and consume
Through the
them.
earth and consume
Let the
them.
plague shake the house of the thief.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief.
And the murderer.
And the murder.
Let Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel.
Down the flying saucer.
Down the flying saucer.
Punish all the heathen
Punish all the
that
heathen.
come up against us.
Come up against
As we
us.
speak thy word.
Speak thy word.
Come on.